You're looking at a daily chart of the Nasdaq, and welcome to my weekly review. You can see the Nasdaq all year long in 2022, just making new lows, lower highs, and it's kind of wearing people out here. But last week, not last week, the Thursday prior to that, it had a reversal here. It made a low of 10,088. And then it closed higher that day. And, some people are saying that's a bottom. That's not my call. I don't call a bottom. But we did have a follow through day on Friday, in which all the indexes here were more than 1% higher. This is the NASDAQ, 2.3% higher, with a higher volume than the prior day. So what's the importance of the follow through day is that every bull market has started with a follow through day, although every follow through day does not lead to a new bull market. If we've seen 5 or 6 failed follow-through days in 2022. I want to take a look at the Dow Jones, because the Dow Jones was the leader here on Friday, up 2.47% in a massive volume, but it's obviously got resistance here at the 50 simple moving average. And so that's kind of ominous here that it would hit that. So maybe it'll trade right through it, maybe to just trade sideways for a few days. We'll see. But anyway, I don't really trade indexes. I trade stocks, and I want to take a look at the oil sector because that's what's been driving the markets higher, the XLE. Before I do that, I have some charts here that show, since the August 16th high point in the markets, the XLE is up 13%. Every other sector's down double digits. The retail sector's down 20%. And since the beginning of the year, the energy complex is up, nearly 50%, while the rest of the sectors are down. The retail down 35%. Just communications 35, technology 28. So it's been a tough year. But I am going to look at some retail stocks because I believe some of them may have shown signs of bottoming. I'm going to do that later on. But anyway, the XLE is definitely the winner here in 2022. I want to take a look at some of the winning stocks. Remember, I don't tell people to buy stocks. I don't recommend. I'm not qualified. But this is a stock that is definitely not. It's up 120% in 2022. So what bear market, right? It's a little extended here from its 10 EMA, almost 6%. So, but it's just been grinding higher after this breakout here, this cup, a little handle and then breakout. It's been supported by its 21 EMA. So if you're interested in that, like I am, maybe I'll wait for it to come back to at least a 10 and maybe try to take a swing at that one. Devon is one that obviously it's got this big yield. And it's got, the best real estate, and I think the most real estate in the Permian Basin. And the CEO said that if it's $60 oil, they're going to do great. Now it's, 90. So I think he's going to do better than great. They have earnings coming up November 1st, but you can see this has formed a nice cup with handle pattern. Now, I didn't like this coming right off the bottom here. You could see 55 straight up to 73. So I waited for it to pull back here before pulling the trigger at 69.69 on one day last week. Anyway, when it pulled back to its 21 EMA, got to be a wise guy from time to time with there's limit buys. Petrobras, another one, formed a base, ran up, formed another base. Look at the RS line, this thing, and the volume coming in. Take a look at the weekly on this. Yeah, it's just, base after base after base, right? This late stage, but it's still continuing to grind higher. And definitely, this is like, shooting fish in a barrel here in these oil stocks. Murphy Oil, again, cup with handle, and then it breaks out and it's just kind of running away here. 7.9% above its 10 EMA. So if you're interested in that, you're definitely gonna have to wait. You don't want to be chasing in this tape. This is Cheniere Energy. The pipeline stocks have been doing great. Once again, 1.6% off of its high. So these are not suffering from the bear market like the rest of the stocks. LNG is just kind of trading sideways in here and finding support at its moving average. Another quality oil and gas pipeline stock. This is a field services stock, kind of like Schlumberger had a good earnings on Friday, I believe. We got Halliburton coming up this week. And you can see the volume coming into this one. It was up, what, 20% just last week here. Yeah, 22%. So you can see on the weekly, it's formed this little consolidation pattern and looks pretty good. Anyway, I could go on all day with the oil. I don't want to. I'm going to hit the biotech stocks. I like biotechs. And Vertex is one of the leaders. You can see it's got the sales and earnings growth. If you look at the weekly chart, you can see the long consolidation period. And they're reporting earnings this week too. So it's going to be a busy week for earnings. AMLX, they had their Lou Gehrig's drug, I should say ALS drug, approved, and it spiked up. Then it kind of coiled a little bit, formed a little pennant. They had a secondary offering, pinched in there back to the 21, and it was 6.5 million shares at 32. So if people are buying it, there's demand at 32. It ate up the supply and it just kept ripping higher. So I guess their drug is over $1 billion market potential. So AMLX is looking strong, and definitely more buyers and sellers there. Neocrene, this is another one. You got to look at the weekly. This formed a long consolidation period, just kind of holding up. For 2022, this thing's doing well. If you just trade sideways, you're doing well. Hopefully we get a market rally and this thing can rally as well. They have earnings on November 1st. Anyway, enough of the biotech. I said I was going to do some retail stocks here because I think they're forming some stage one bases here. They stopped going down. There was Crux. It was down to 48. Here rallied up, got rejected at the 200, traded back below it. Now it's kind of above it here. It's trading above it, and they have earnings on November 3rd. But if you look at the weekly here, see this long sell-off, and now it's kind of consolidating. And yeah, stage one, I don't know how Crux, they're going to deliver like 5 billion in sales, and it's got a less than a 5 billion market cap. So I'm going to keep my eye on that one. Target's another one. This is one of those dividend aristocrats. People buy at dollar cost average in for years and years and collect the checks. You can see that it stopped going down. Even with the bad report from Nike, this thing stopped going down 137 and 145. So it's making higher lows. Yeah, it looks like it's got resistance here at the 50, but Target has stopped going down. CMG, and that's kind of what I look for, is like stocks that stop going down on bad news. The news is going to be bad for a while here. We know that. And so the markets, if they stop going down on bad news, then maybe we're kind of at the bottom of this junk, though I'm not calling a bottom. This is a Chipotle. You can see the nice consolidation period here. And it is trading below its 50, but above the 200. Looks pretty good to me. They're reporting earnings here on Tuesday, it looks like, or is that Monday? I don't know. Tuesday, I guess. Anyway, that's enough of the retail. I want to show some random growth stocks that I like. Shockwave, this one, I thought it was going to get a little bounce, some pen action off the Intuitive Surgical report, which was stellar, but it didn't. It just kind of went flat last week. But if you look at the weekly, you can see that it's had this consolidation, then shot up in the summer, and it's kind of holding its gains here while it's consolidating. So they report earnings soon as well. Yeah, November 7th. So that's definitely one to keep an eye on. Lantheus, another one. This one's up like 140% in 2022. So for it to give back some is normal. It's not out of character for this thing. It did slice its 50, but it looks like it's forming this double bottom base here. And it's just kind of consolidating. It's been 6 weeks. So give it some more time. Lantheus is reporting earnings on November 3rd. HLIT, Harmonic. This one was on our watch list back in September when it formed this, cup with handle pattern. We could see it blasted off, and now it's extended. You can't FOMO in this market here. 5.8% above its 10 EMA, and you can see on the weekly this nice consolidation. pullback, and then you know, it's been up, what, look at these blue towers here, like you know, 6 out of 7 weeks. So definitely congrats to the longs on that one. AEHR, this is a very popular stock on Twitter. It's a flea of a company, as Upticken would say. 570 million market cap. You know, it does have sales and earnings growth, and you can see it's formed this nice consolidation period. It's a little extended now. 17.5% above its 10 EMA. Yeah, I think you got to wait for that one to calm down a little bit, Johnny. But you can see on the weekly that it had this consolidation. It was up, yeah, 40% last week. So congrats to the longs on that one. And if you're looking to get in like I am, I would just wait for a pullback on that one to add. Sanmina, my man, Yuri Sola, came back to his company that he founded, and he had retired. He came back, and he's got this place humming. You can see on the daily, the cup shape pattern, you know, trading above its 10 EMA here. It had a great week last week, and it's now, yeah, you know, 6.5% above its 10 EMA. You can see, yeah, it's got the blue dot, the RS going north, due north. Yeah, it was up 10% last week. And how far is it off its 52-week high? Oh, it's 3.2% above. Yeah, Sanmina, doing great. Congratulations, Yuri. Keep doing your thing. This is Cross Country Healthcare Commercial Staffing Company. You can see the big consolidation period here. This is a nice shakeout here. I would not hold that. Heck no. 30 to 20 shook guys like me out, but this thing has been ripping ever since. You can see the consolidation pattern here, the shakeout and the breakout. Good for you. Good for the longs, up 13% last week. Congrats. 4 is another one that I'm just looking at. Possibly a stage 1 base, kind of like Crux. It had this, you know, big sell-off. You know, everything's been selling off since what? Yeah, June of 21. So, you know, it's going on a year and a half here, and now it's starting to form this little consolidation period here, and maybe it'll break out. It's got earnings coming up November 7th, so it's definitely on my watch list. Calx. This is a computer networking stock. And if you look at the weekly, you can see the consolidation period here is kind of trading tight here, just near its moving averages. So that's why it's on my watch list. I like that type of action here. Earnings are Monday, so maybe it's going to be ready to break out. And the last one off the top rope, WWE, you could see the consolidation period, little pullback down to the 10, and then now it's just ripping higher, but it's 3.1% above its 10. So this is not really a, you know, fast moving stock, but there you can see the big consolidation. Now it's trading higher, is up 3% last week. It's been a quality stock. Anyway, I want to thank you for checking out my my weekly review. I always want to stay flexible and open-minded, and at mcstockcharts.com, we never give up. Have a great weekend, everybody.